When life knocks you down, and life will knock you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Welcome to Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. In the last video, I talked about how I was a DIY investor and my search for a certified financial planner. In this video, I'm going to talk about things to avoid going into early retirement. And this is inspired by Mary over at Pennies Not Perfection. She did a video similar to this, and so it really sparked something in me. And I said, let me tell people what I did to avoid some of these mistakes going into early retirement. And the first one is not investing for retirement. What I did was I automated my investments. I put the money into investment accounts, whether they were retirement accounts or brokerage accounts or high yield savings accounts, even into retirement, so that I forced myself to live on less money. And this really puts a lot of money, and it supercharges your investing when you force yourself to live on less money and you learn to live on less money. So one of the things that I did early on in my retirement was I moved from a high cost of living area to a low cost of living area. And this is called geo arbitrage. I gave myself a 30% raise immediately without ever even spending any money by moving from a high cost of living area to a low cost of living area. And there are websites that you can look at that will tell you the difference between one city's cost of living and another city's cost of living. So I recommend that you go out and you do that. And so I mentioned that Mary at Pennies Not Perfection started a thing called Transfer Tuesdays. And what it's caught on with all the financial YouTubers that I've been watching for years. And what they do is every Tuesday they come on and they say, I've transferred this little bit of money into a different account for this big goal that I have. Well, one of the other YouTubers who started doing this is Katie of the House. Now, Katie of the House on her YouTube channel, she reads transfers that her subscribers have done. And that really motivates subscribers. So you may want to look at some of these YouTube channels and start yourself a Transfer Tuesday or a Transfer Friday, whatever you need to do to make it consistent that you're transferring money for retirement or for goals in early retirement. So for me, it's not how much I make, it's how much I keep. So what I do is I maximize my taxes, I maximize my write-offs. I look for every little thing. For example, my health savings account, the HSA, that is a triple tax write-off. Not only do I get to write off the money I put in there during the year, I invest that money and I get the money tax-free if I use it for healthcare expenses in the future after it's grown in the stock market. So all those things are ways to, one, lower your taxes, two, maximize your investments. The next thing that I did was I started multiple streams of income, and then I automate them. My multiple streams of income are my teaching income. It was my W-2 income, but then my teaching income replaced that. Now I'm trying to get my rental income to replace my teaching income. Again, I forced myself to live on less money. So the second thing that I want to talk about is don't carry high interest rate credit cards. I have one credit card that a credit union gave me 25 years ago when I had multiple credit cards. And what they did was they gave me a home equity loan on my property, but they said, we're going to pay off all your credit cards and we're going to give you this one credit card from our credit union. That's the only credit card I've had all these years. And that has kept me from having high interest rate credit cards because my credit union has always had a low interest rate on that one credit card. And it also keeps me from spending my credit card because I'll be honest with you, my credit card is either zero or it's maxed out. Those are the only two places my credit card goes. It goes up, I pay it off. It goes up, I pay it off. don't do that. And I'm stopping doing that now. It has taken me a couple of years into early retirement to stop that pattern, but I have finally stopped that pattern. So please like and subscribe and recommend my channel to anyone you know who has been knocked down by life. So the question for the comments today are, what amount of money would change your life? For me, it's $1,000 a month. I don't need much to live on because I am frugal and I live a very simple life. So $1,000 a month would change my life because that's all I would need extra from what I make right now. So you have to decide for you what amount of money would change your life and try to attain that amount of money. But again, early retirement does not mean that you have to make a ton of money. So that question was recently asked by Mary over at Pennies Not Perfection. And so that's all part of this theme of this video. So number 3, which is retire to something and not from something, right? So what you want to do is you want to have something you're going to. For me, it was teaching full-time as opposed to working for the federal government. So once my teaching income reached the same level as my federal government income, I could step off and do teaching full-time. And now, I've been retired 4.5 years. I am now backing down on the teaching income. My rental income is going up a little bit, and it will replace my teaching income at some point. The other thing that you want to do, and you want to avoid having bad health going into early retirement. I just went to the doctor today, and I'm working on my cholesterol and my blood sugar. My cholesterol's coming down, my blood sugar was going up. So now we need to refocus on our A1C. But take care of your health, because there's nothing more important retiring early than having good health. And so along with that, I'm going to say that sometimes we make mistakes before we retire. For example, when I was 35 years old, I depleted my 401k just buying stupid things. I bought a brand new car, and I bought this, and I had a boat and a motorcycle, and I spent my 401k. So I started over at 35, saving. So I have a very heavy, high savings rate trying to make up for the years in my 20s when I wasn't saving. And so the other thing is, I want to tell you a story about an Uber driver that I just met this past week when I was in Palm Springs. And what he told me was that it wasn't because of drugs or anything. He was a bar owner, and he built a building that was too big, and he went bankrupt by building a bar that was too big, and he was a very successful bar owner. But now he's getting Social Security and he's Uber driving. And so he gave me this tip that I want to pass on to everyone, which is that if there's a cap on how much money you can make on Social Security and still make extra income, you could do Uber and write off some of your expenses, which lowers the amount of money that the Social Security Administration sees, so you could actually make more money than the limit that they allow you to make, because you have the write-off for your vehicle and the mileage and that kind of thing. So that was a neat way to lower your taxes in retirement. So I wanted to give you an update on my Budget Bros of me trying to start a personal finance class and help people here in my town. Well, I still haven't had anyone take me up on it. However, I'm out offering, and I'm not going to give up. It's just going to take time. Because I am in a town where there are a lot of paycheck to paycheck people, they may not want to admit that they need financial help. And so I will just keep putting the word out there through my different groups that I'm in and see if anyone will take me up on that. So I have to tell you that my retirement is a dream. Like I said, I just went to Palm Springs, and pretty soon I'm going to go to Nebraska. I travel frugally. I plan my trips in advance. I buy low-cost airplane tickets. But the point is, I still get to enjoy life even though I'm retired on low income. So the quote of the day, if you do not build your dream, someone else will hire you for you to help them build theirs. So remember, never let your past determine your future.